Hey everybody, first and foremost, I hope you all are having an amazing day. And thanks for tuning in to another episode of Dad's Budget Bites, the kitchen where budget meets flavor. They come together beautifully. So if you recall from the end of our last episode, we spun the game wheel and we got side dish. So what I decided that we could make together today is a homemade mac and cheese. It's sure to please, it's a crowd pleaser, and it's great for these chilly winter days. So without further ado, let's get into it and let's cook.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so here's the ingredients that we're going to be using today for a homemade mac and cheese. Most of these ingredients you may already have, or possibly all of them. We have two different types of cheeses for today. I decided to go with a sharp cheddar and then also a shredded Mexican 4-cheese blend. You always want to use cheddar, so you could use all cheddar or you could mix it up and add like a different type of cheese as well. Monterey Jack would be fine, pepper jack would be fine. Mac and cheese is pretty forgiving that way. And then we have Italian style breadcrumbs. You could use that for the topping if you desire. You could have no topping. Panko breadcrumbs work really great too, as well as crunching up some Ritz crackers or saltine crackers. That makes a really good topping as well. Then we have about 4 tablespoons of flour. We may use all of that. We may not use all of it. We may need a little more. It all depends once you get going. And then we have salt and pepper to taste. We have butter, a 16-ounce package of elbow macaroni. And you could use any tube pasta. It works fine, but I decided for today, we keep it classic. And then we have 2.5 cups of milk. Again, like many of these ingredients, you may end up using more, you may end up using less. It's all about the consistency once you get going. Once you're happy with the consistency, then you got the ratio right. And then lastly is Tabasco or hot sauce. If you wanted like an extra little kick, I'll probably end up just adding like a few splashes just for an extra taste, an extra flavor, an extra level of depth. Red pepper flakes work fine too. If you wanted like a little bit of an extra kick. Alright so in an effort for you to follow better at home, I just got done cooking the pasta. My particular box of pasta said to boil it for 8 to 10 minutes. You do want to take it off a couple minutes sooner than what the box suggests, because the last step is going to be to mix everything together and throw it in the oven. So it does get extra cook time, naturally from that. So you still want it to be a firm al dente type firmness. And right now we're getting our double boiler system up and running so we can make that roux or that cheese sauce. So the smaller pan, again, it's about half full with water. It just got to a boil, so I turned it down to 3. You still want it to maintain a slow boil, but you don't want it violently boiling, because now you're going to add the slightly larger pan over top. And this is what's going to make our cheese sauce. So your first step is to add the butter. Some recipes this size call for upwards of 2 sticks of butter. I prefer to use way less, honestly. I think that's too much. So I have 2/3 of a stick, and I find that to be plenty. Alright, so as you can see, the butter's getting nice and melted. The hot steam works really well for this, and because it's not directly on the heat, you're going to end up getting a much better consistency. Now you want to add your flour. I'm going to save a little bit. I'm going to add probably 80% of it. So we'll start with that. You do want to continuously whisk, you know, while everything is mixing together to avoid getting clumps. All right, I would say that's a very nice start. That's a good consistency. So that would be about 3.5 tablespoons of flour with 2/3 of a stick of butter. Now we want to add our milk. You could always add more, but you can never take away. So I'm going to add most of it, but I'm going to save some. And the same with the cheeses. I'm going to add most of it, save some. Oh, and by the way, I think I forgot to mention I have a cup of each. So that's 2 cups of cheese total, and I'm probably adding a cup and a half at this time. You want to keep giving that a good whisk. Good time to add your salt and pepper. And you want to keep whisking. Get it all nice and melted. Okay, so I'm going to add the rest of this flour because I feel like we're going to need it. Alright, so I'll check back with you guys in a few minutes. This still has a little ways to go. Alright, so this is looking just perfect, and I just turned the heat off. I did end up using a little bit more milk, so of the 2.5 cups that we started out with, I ended up using 2 cups. And I actually added another tablespoon of flour, which brought us up to approximately 4 tablespoons. And yeah, this is the consistency you're looking for. Yeah, the way it coats to the side of the pan, that's perfect. Yeah, once you got that, you're good to go. And that's the reason why you want to keep whisking. Comes out nice and creamy. Alright, so now at this point, we want to add the pasta to the cheese sauce that we made. And then we put it in a Pyrex pan or some sort of oven-safe pan. And then we top it with our breadcrumbs and finish it off. So I'll check in with you guys in just a few minutes. I'm just going to mix our cheese sauce with our macaroni. Alright everyone, so I just got done mixing the macaroni and the cheese sauce together. It's looking amazing. You could actually eat it this way. It doesn't even need to go in the oven, you know, if you wanted to save that step. But we're going to finish this to completion. I did forget to mention earlier that Parmesan cheese is great sprinkled on top as well. So what we're going to do is sprinkle a little bit of Parmesan cheese on one side, and then we could do our breadcrumbs on the other side. The breadcrumbs and the Parmesan cheese should brown up a little in the oven. All right, and now the breadcrumbs. As much or as little as you want. All right, so that looks great. And now we're popping in the oven. "20 to 25 minutes is all you need, so I'll start with 20, and if it needs a few more minutes, we can go from there. And then we're ready to taste it. So our 20 minutes just ended. Let's take it out and see how it looks. I would say that's pretty perfect. Yeah, so that's what you're looking for. That is looking pretty good. All right, so we let this cool for like 6, 7, 8 minutes, and then we dish it out and taste this baby.
All right, everyone, so we're almost at the best time of the video to see if our hard work paid off. But before we get to that, I just wanted to mention that I didn't end up adding the hot sauce that I mentioned in the beginning of the video. But if I were to add it, it would have just went in at the end of making our cheese sauce. And give it a quick stir so it's blended together. And I do apologize for missing that part. But now, without further ado, we're going to dig in and see how this is. Ah, look at that. I'm not sure if you could see on the camera or not, but the breadcrumbs did brown up slightly. The macaroni did as well. And now we could taste it and see how we did. Oh, it's still creamy. It's not dry at all. Oh, this looks good. Oh, that is very good. All right, guys, well, I consider this a hit.
Okay, all. Well, here's our infamous game wheel. And unfortunately, this brings us to the conclusion of our video for today. I really did have a great time making this homemade mac and cheese with you all, and I hope you did too. Actually, I hope you get inspired to try it on your own at home, and let me know your thoughts, let me know how it came out. The best advice I can give you is that the cheese sauce does tend to get finicky at times, so you do want to constantly whisk. By constantly whisking, you're breaking up any flour clumps, and you're also letting air into the mix, which is going to add to the overall creaminess. And then secondly, the oven sometimes tends to dry out the mac and cheese. So start with 20 minutes on 350. If you feel like that's not enough, definitely adjust accordingly if you feel like it needs a few more minutes. But for today, 20 minutes worked out just perfectly. And that brings us to our game wheel now. So it's set to side dish. That's where we left off last time. Now we're going to give it a good spin, and that's going to set up our next video. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we got breakfast or lunch. So we're going to be setting up a breakfast or lunch dish for our next video. Please be sure to tune in for that. If you like this video, please hit that like button. Feel free to share it with your friends, family. Comments are always appreciated. And if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe. I'll see you all next time. Bye.